Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, The Moody Pages. I'm Chanel, your fellow mood reader. Guess what? I am actually filming a what I read this past month. I always make TBR videos and I never upload. What did I read? Why? Why do I keep doing that, right? Film TBR videos and then do not deliver on, hey, what did I actually read? Okay, well, good news. I finished 11 books in June. Let me also note, I am filming this on June 29th. I do not anticipate me finishing another book in a day. I do have a Kindle read right now and I'm currently like 20% in. It is very good. I just don't see myself finishing it within the next day or so, given I still have dinner, I still have a bunch of other stuff that I need to do. All right, let me give you some of the stats from this past month. Okay, let's see here. Mostly read these books on audio. The next more prominent one was Kindle and then physical. Only 9% of what I read was over 900 pages, or only 9% of what I read was over 500 pages. And then 18% was less than 300 pages, and then 73% was between the 300 to 499 mark. So there's moods on Storygraph, and the biggest one is emotional and dark. And then it shares it with tense, and then mysterious and hopeful. So that's kind of the stats for what I read. I am going to get 3 books out of the way right now. I did not like this trilogy. I am so sorry to the people that absolutely love this. I know it's some people's Roman Empire. I know it is just a very highly popular series to begin with. Unfortunately, I think it's not for me at this point. Yes, I finished it, but it's because the new spin-off series was super hyped up and I have it for a book club, and I'm just, after finishing that, I was just like, I need space from this, and maybe I can come back and revisit. But that is the Ravenhood series. It's not for me. I think had I read this at a earlier point in time in my reading journey, I would have liked it. I have read much darker, much better books since. Another book I did not like, and I really am disappointed in myself for not liking it, but it's not, I guess it's not disappointment in myself. It's just I'm really bummed that I didn't vibe with the book. It's called Hers to Rule. I got this as an ARC and I was very excited because the tropes that were advertised to me sounded so good, and unfortunately it just all fell so flat and there was no plot. Listen, I love erotica. There's nothing wrong with erotica. However, for me, I need a smidge of a plot. Like, I'm grasping at straws when I am reading erotica for a plot, but usually there is some type of enough plot to make me hold on. Even there has to be something interesting for me to hold on to reading it. There was one little smidge that, you know, really had me holding on, which is why I finished the book. I still got no answers as to what happened and why. What's the magic system like? What's happening? It was, what's happening is she's banging 2 dudes. Don't know what else to tell you, and that is just not for me, but it might be for someone else. Another book I read was a recommendation from my brother. So he gave me the physical book and I didn't read it for a month, so he asked for it back, and so I just placed a hold on my library and I finally got the audiobook available, and it's called The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and it's definitely a thought-provoking book and it made me really sad. One of my biggest fears is death, and this is about a man who who died. He was an old man. He lived a long, fulfilled life, and he got to meet 5 different people in heaven. And each one of them, he had some type of interaction in his lifetime, and some of them were people he didn't even know. And it was just really cool to see the impact that you may have on other people's lives, and whether that's positively or negatively. But it was really thought-provoking, and I cried, and the ending had me crying. Okay, let's get the other ones out of the way. I also listened to Hungerstone. This is a historical sapphic romance with vampires. So historical vampire sapphic romance. I might need to flop some words around. And there's horror in it as well. So I would say that that's probably one of the forefront tropes, genres. I enjoyed it. I think that it kind of struggled to hold my attention at sometimes, and I did have to pause and like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this when I'm a little bit more intrigued or can focus a lot more. There's times where in audiobooks where I'm able to simultaneously do a task while I'm listening, because the audiobook is just that intriguing, that entrancing. And this one was a little bit on the drier side, but sometimes I do struggle with historical romances because it's a little bit on the drier side for me. It's not modern, so I don't know. That's a me problem though. Okay, we're gonna getting into our physical books that I read for this month. Okay, just kidding. We have one more. Leave Me Behind. I did this as a buddy read with a bunch of friends on Discord. I am absolutely in love with this book. It is so different than all the books that I've read. The ending, I was crying my eyes out, and then something else happened with my personal life within minutes of me finishing that book, and so I just ended up ugly crying and sobbing for like 20 minutes. It was just a really emotional ending. And on to that note though, I think the ending, there's parts of it that I liked and parts of it I didn't. I think that the ending is probably my gripe, but all that to say, it was just it was dark. The tension was just so good. We have the beginning has hidden identity. The beginning has hidden identity. I seriously just love it. Also, if you can hear my daughter screaming, singing to an Ariana Grande song, enjoy. Anyways, I absolutely loved Leave Me Behind, and I am wanting to pre-order the deluxe edition that comes out later this year because it just looks so good. I did skip the Probably Smut edition because it didn't call to me. This deluxe edition does call to me, so I'd rather get my money on to that. Okay, so I read Wild and Wrangled with my friend Sally, and this was a really good book. I absolutely loved just the relationship in general. I kind of struggled with Done and Dusted, to be honest, and then the series has gotten better as it went. I think the first book is always just a little bit of a dud. This one, very good. I will say I think that the beginning, it took me a little bit to get into Camille as a person. I can see why she is the way that she is. I understand it to an extent. I don't think that she's my favorite FMC. She's a single mom, which I could relate to. And it was really endearing to see this like second chance romance come together. I'm not a big fan of second chance romance, but this worked for me, so I gave it a pass. You know, like I actually enjoyed it, so that says something. Okay. The next book that I read was Rewind It Back by Liz Tomfordy. This is Rio's story. He is a hockey player, and throughout the series, I kind of felt like Rio was kind of portrayed as this lovesick puppy, almost playboy though. Like he wanted to be in love so bad, and he was really kind of like, but also one of the girls. He was always at girls' nights and is just a really endearing character. But just how he acted was kind of like, I don't know, immature. So and maybe I am getting the wrong vibes and I am thinking of a different character, but to me, just from his character, I was kind of like, oh, maybe he's just kind of like a playboy, and maybe it's just the dates that he goes on. I'm not sure. Anyways, this was a lot more wholesome than I was anticipating, and another second chance romance. This was better than Wild and Wrangled with the second chance romance aspect of it. Devoured, absolutely devoured. And also to note as well, I keep using that phrase, I am so sorry, the audiobook is good. Another book I read, this was for our traveling books between me and my friends. This is Throne of the Fallen, and this is a spin-off series of Kingdom of the Wicked. I absolutely love Kingdom of the Wicked. It was just such a good trilogy. It was a YA trilogy, and I think towards the end it started to touch into the more adult themes. It wanted to lead there, but didn't really give in that aspect, I don't think. It was so good. This had a slow start for sure. Hands down, such a slow start. And I was starting to be a little annoyed, disappointed, and I was at the point where I was thinking, do I DNF this? Like, I'm not vibing with this. And then something just happens and it starts getting a little more fast paced. We start getting a lot more tension. We start getting a lot more angst. A lot of stuff just builds up within the plot, and it's so good. I really enjoyed it. And then we do get cameos of Wrath and Emilia from Kingdom of the Wicked, which I absolutely enjoyed. And I'm also really excited to read the rest of the brothers. I believe all the brothers are now gonna get a book, and this was just delicious. I wouldn't say that this surpassed Kingdom of the Wicked series, but this was a perfect second. Okay, this last book has me screaming. I just finished this today, Beneath These Cursed Stars by Lexi Ryan. This is a spin-off series of These Hollow Vows, and this is everything that I love about romantasy. Like, I am so passionate about this book. This is a sister who went through a lot. She hates the Fae. Just so much action happens, and I feel like I can't go into too much because you do need to read These Hollow Vows, that duology first before this. The ending had me screaming. I am just so in love with this book. I want book 2 immediately. It's action-packed. The tension of characters, the secret that everyone is holding against each other. I cannot even. I'm in love and I need book 2 ASAP. This is why I love romantasy. This is why it's such a god tier genre. Even though it is YA, I mean, read it. It is so good. Well, that is all the books that I read this month, and I feel like it was a pretty solid month, minus a few audiobooks and a Kindle read, but it was solid. I have some new favorites, and I'm just in love with how this month's reading month went, minus those 3. All right, guys, let me know. Have you read any of these? Are they on your TBR? Did I influence you to not read or to read? I will see you guys in another video. Bye.